Where do you want me to start?
If you can start off by giving us an overview of your team, and then introduce your players, and have each one of them give a little overview of their team as well.
All right, good. With me today, I have Justin Young. He started for us on the offensive line last year, one of my 2 returning starters, and this is Hunter Schusler, who is he's by all means our starting quarterback right now. I'm fighting for that job, but he's definitely our leader for our offensive group this year. Just a quick overview of our team. Really excited about the upcoming season. These guys have been waiting, a lot of them, a long time. We lost 40 seniors off of last year's team, and a lot of these guys have been waiting for their opportunity to play. And I've got some very talented kids, some very good athletes that are going to step in who have been patiently waiting their time. They've played in a lot of varsity games as well. Had a change this year defensively with my defensive coordinator, Robert Andrews. Long story short, I'll let him tell that, but he moved on and took a head coaching job. I replaced him with Lenny Gregory, who'll be our new defensive coordinator this year, so I had to shuffle some guys around on the staff with that. But that's where we are. I have a running back named Harris McCall, who is also a returning starter, who is an extremely talented player. He's 5'11", 170 pounds, but he can go. He's a 4'4" kid. He can really run. And then I've got some other speed guys. Our 4x1 100 relay team, 3 of those guys are receivers and defensive backs on our team. They can go, and they were also they got second place in the state in the 4x1 and the 4x4. So we got some good players, good pieces to put together, but it's going to take some time. We've got to really build our team, so we got a lot of work to do.
We just got back from FCA camp, so at FCA camp we just built our spiritual life. So I think another way, while I was at FCA camp, we work as a family, and we build that bondage. We work together. That's where we come together as a team, as a unit. And on Friday nights, it's a team effort. So when we're out there playing, it's not just going to be one person that's just going to change the game. It's going to have to be a team effort. So while I was at FCA, it was making that team bondage come together as one.
I think our team personally came together at FCA, like Justin said, the team bonding and all that. But we're going to be young, we're returning starters, like Coach Collins said. But I think that we're all hardworking and we're not going to give up. So we're just going to go out there and show them our best.
Coach Collins, with you, y'all graduated so many players. Does this year's team remind you of any other teams as far as so many new players at so many new positions, or is this kind of a new for you, first thing for y'all, ever since y'all started the program 12 years ago?
That's a good question. 2 years ago, when we won the state championship, we replaced 9 starters on defense. We had 2 returning, and one of those returning starters actually went to play on offense. We did have a few key players back on offense, though, that year. His brother, Nick, being one of them, and Fred Zerbelis, who were key components to that championship. But so, not only are we replacing all those on defense, we're really replacing all 11 on defense. And offensively, I'm really replacing all but one, because Justin, he's going to have to play a lot of defense this year as a defensive end. And so to answer your question, every year, to me in high school football, every year is different and every year is new. And there's changes, and anytime there's change, you have to start with the core, and that's the team and building the team. So with that, nothing's changed. Now I will say, I'm still waiting on players to grab positions because, everybody is right. Not everybody, but several of them that are fighting for positions, they're all sitting right here even with each other. I'm waiting for some guys to take those jobs. And that gets, you want to know who your starters are going into this thing, and we're still not sure. We've got some guys, in the secondary and on the offensive line that we're not sure of right now, and they've got to, they got to continue to prove it and take those jobs. I will feel a whole lot better when I know exactly where all the people go. But the good thing is there's people to go in those places. But I want somebody to take it so I can really hone in on those guys and get them ready for, for the Georgia Dome, when we open up against Colquitt, because that's going to be a tough task.
Coach, one guy you mentioned as possibly one of those guys who's going to take the positions of Aries McCall. Brings to mind, you guys don't change a whole lot of what you do offensively, but if you look at the last few years, it's your running game has been, quite frankly, a little bit of power based. Let's face it, with the guys personnel that you've had back there, with Aries as maybe one of the go-to guys, do you see yourself going back more to the style of running that you had when you had somebody like, say, an Ian Pemberton, or a smaller, quicker back going back there?
We're gonna tailor it, to suit the players that we have, and definitely we're going to set up some things for Ayers to be successful and utilize his speed as we did Ian Pemberton. I think the biggest difference that we do have is that I have, when Ian was there, I had some good running backs with him, but the running backs that I got with Ayers are really good. They're young, but they're really good to go along with him. And I've got a couple of upcoming juniors and sophomores that they're going to turn some heads. I believe they've got some talent. So I think Ayers is going to have a little more help than Ian. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think he's going to have a little more help than Ian did.
So in other words, it's going to be another running back by committee, like it's been basically. It's up to them, and you know how I am. If the other guys are not getting it done, we're going to try to formation it where he can get the carries. I feel like with Hunter, having a kid that's 6'4", has got a great arm. Hunter weighs about 190 pounds right now. Going into his junior year, we've got some pretty good receivers to go along with him too that are unknowns name-wise, but they've got some talent. If they can turn the passing game into what Nick did, that would be a huge benefit for us. So there's a lot, and that's what keeps me up at night right now, because all that is on paper it looks good, but you don't play on paper, and these guys they've got to make those plays.
You guys are obviously the defending region champs. You talk about all these holes that you have to fill, these question marks. Do you feel like you guys should be the contender going into this year, the favorite going into this year, or do you think that it's somebody else? Or any thoughts?
Well, I think there's a lot of great teams in Gwinnett County and in our region. These players, just to talk a little bit about them, they played sub-varsity, 9th grade, JV. They've won their region championships in that as well coming up. I'm happy to be in the position that we're in, but, that was last year's team that won the region championship. This year's team, I think they know how to win, which I'm excited about. Now they got to do it on a Friday night or Saturday afternoon. They got to do it and prove that they can do it on the big stage, and that's a whole nother deal, as we all know. So I'm glad they're in the position they are to defend a title. It's going to be up to them and up to us as a staff what we do with that.
This question is for Justin, just kind of what Coach Kahn was saying. For you guys, is there pressure, to compete for that region title, to win 10 games or more, to reach the quarterfinals? Do you feel like there's any pressure on you guys to perform?
like Coach Khan said, there's lots of teams out there who's going to be real good that they're going to become ready on Friday nights. But pressure-wise, we still have to do what we have to do to get the job done on Friday nights to get that W, and we'll do whatever it takes.
Coach, for all the more publicized players that you'll have to replace from the seniors that graduated, one that probably few people are talking about is your kicking game. What does the kicking game look like now? I know you had a move in last year that really provided some weapon for you. So what does the kicking game look like right now?
Well, the kicking game is still up in the air right now. I feel pretty confident that we have a good long snapper and punter. Right now, as far as the kicker goes, that's still in question. But we've got some guys there. It's just a matter of who takes the job. So, the one we had last year was really talented, though. So we're definitely going to miss him.
You guys obviously had a very talented senior class, very publicized with Robert. Just going into this year, who would be your most highly recruited player, or a couple of players as of right now? Who's your most recruited players?
Well, as far as seniors go, Ayers McCall will be, he'll be our biggest senior recruit right now. Now I've got some unknown kids. I got a kid named Cartez Hall, who he's one of the fastest kids in the state of Georgia. He's going to be playing a corner position. He's 6'1", weighs about 180 pounds, and I think when people see what he can do, he just started playing football. He's a basketball player growing up, and we've been trying to play him at receiver the last few years, and I made the change this spring and put him at corner, and I think he's going to open up a lot of eyes, kind of like Shao Fentine did a couple of years ago. So I think he's going to turn some heads. I think these two guys up here, they're both junior football players, but I think they're going to be highly recruited players. Our inside linebacker, Daniel Fennell, he's 6'3", 215, 220. He's already had offers from Miami. He was at the Georgia Dog Night or something that they did last night. I think what you're going to see though with us is the recruits that we're going to have this year. It's going to be what they do this year. Unfortunately for them, there was a really talented group ahead of them. Now, Ayers McCall, he's proved that he can do it. So I think he'll probably be the highest recruit that I have at this point.
Hunter, how have you progressed over the summer with 7-on-7 passing, things of that nature?
We've been putting in a lot of new plays, but I feel like at receiver we have a lot of depth. So I feel like all of our receivers are getting to know where they're going, and then just keep practicing 7-on-7 makes it much easier for me, and I'll make it much easier for Friday nights.
And have you developed any kind of connection with any one or two receivers that you feel comfortable with?
Mostly all of our receivers who I throw to. I know there's like a handful who I throw to, like the start and in the second group, and I said for sure catch if I throw to them. So I just know I have confidence in them, and they have confidence in me.
Justin, Coach alluded to a little bit that you're going to have to move over and play both ways a little bit, but a little bit more on defense this year. Talk about stepping into that situation on the defensive line. We had so many playmakers there. What do you feel like you have to do, and the newcomers there have to do to kind of keep the defense as dominant as it has been?
Last year, when I played the offensive line, growing up, I've always played offensive line and defensive line, so it wasn't really nothing new to me. But varsity level-wise, that was the first time playing offensive line. This year, playing defense, we have a lot of guys stepping up. What's his name? Kevon Burke at nose guard. He's a senior this year. He's doing what he has to do to get better. And we have the sophomore, Michael Daniel. He's doing what he has to do, and everybody's doing everything right. So, as a leader, I think if we just do what we have to do during practice and listen to coach and respect, I think everything should be all right.
Justin, you guys are going to open the season in the Corky Kell, playing in the Dome. Is it still exciting for the players to go to the Dome and play in that environment, or has it gotten to the point now where you guys have been there, kind of done that? Just kind of what's the mentality, as far as going to the Dome?
It's always exciting going to the Dome, like seeing the Falcons play on Sunday nights. Not everybody gets that opportunity to go to the Dome, so I think it's we're blessed to go to the Dome. Not many teams get to go play on that turf in front of a couple hundred or maybe thousands of fans out there just watching us play.
Coach, you don't want to look too far down the road, but the week after the Corky Kelly, you get a rematch with North Gwinnett. More importantly, you mentioned Coach Andrews is going to be standing on the other sideline here. How different is that going to be? And the fact that he knows the way you like to play and the way you guys know how he likes to play, how much is that going to play into it?
Well, I hate having to play against him. He's a great man, great coach, but that's a great program as well. But we're looking forward to an opportunity. I know our community and our team, we're looking forward to an opportunity to play North Gwinnett again. They have a great team, be a great challenge, and it'll be a great game to get us prepared for our region. I feel like it's really important to play those early games, to play tough competition early to get you ready for the region, because the region is so tough, and if you're not ready, it can hurt you. And I think one of the things that hurt us last year, Central, we thought that they were going to be a little tougher competition, and we started feeling good about ourselves, and then coming off that game, lost to Parkview right after that. So you hear all the Florida, how good they are and all that, and where we are here it's much tougher here in Georgia.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, thanks.